News 4 Jax starts right now with a breaking news alert.
We're bringing you live images from a gas station in Bay Meadows where a bizarre shooting happened tonight. Police say a teen trying to hide drugs during a traffic stop shot himself with an officer on scene and another child in the car. We've been following this local breaking news alert since shortly before 9 tonight when that incident happened.
Within the last hour, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office told News 4 Jax a traffic officer pulled the car over because it was driving erratically. This happened at a gas station on Bay Meadows Road when the officer was talking to the driver and the officer heard gunfire from inside the SUV. The officer then pulled his gun but didn't return fire after remembering there were 5 others in the car, including an infant. Channel 4's Francesca Amaker joining us now live to pick up the story from there. Francesca?
Well, Joe and Ken, this story could have ended very badly. Fortunately, this officer noticed, as you said, there were 5 people inside that car and an infant, so he did not fire at the car. But it took place right here just after 8 p.m. at this intersection is Bay Meadows and Phillips Highway. And this incident involves a gun, an infant, and a teenager that pulled the trigger on that gun. Now, when the DUI officer got out to approach the car, he made contact with the driver, who was a female. Then he thought he smelled the odor of marijuana, so he pulled the driver out of the car to speak with her a little bit further and get her identification. And that's when he heard the shot of gunfire all of a sudden.
So all these people start getting out of the car. They come to the back of the vehicle. It's an SUV. They open the back hatch, and there's a male hiding in the luggage compartment. And now he's got a gunshot wound to his abdomen. So through investigation, we learned that what he was trying to do was he was trying to hide the gun because they also had some drugs in the car. He was trying to hide the gun, and he shot himself with the gun, with his own gun.
And again, one of the people inside the car, ironically, had a warrant out for their arrest on burglary. So one person has been arrested. As far as the teenager that mistakenly shot himself, he has been transported to Shands, or UF Health, for his injuries. Fortunately, they are non-life-threatening injuries, but they are very serious. Also, the infant that they were taking to the hospital initially because the infant wasn't feeling well has also been sent to the hospital as well. Again, this is an ongoing investigation, so police weren't able to tell us if any other charges apply. For now, reporting live from Francesca Amaker, Channel 4, the local station.
New information in the story we first brought you Tuesday night. Jacksonville Sheriff's Office releasing new information in their ongoing investigation into Roy Bay.
Bay, you'll remember, spoke at Tuesday's Jacksonville City Council meeting, voicing his opposition to expanding the city's human rights ordinance to include the LGBT community. He was explaining his views against homosexuality when he admitted to sexually assaulting children for years and never being caught. Tonight, JSO confirms he may have had victims in the Jacksonville area. Channel 4's Ethan Calloway joining us live with these developments. Ethan.
Joy, JSO's investigation specifically names Murray Hill, Riverside, and here at Memorial Park as places where Roy Bay may have committed those sexual assault acts. They also say the victims could be white males between the ages of 10 and 18. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office opened this investigation immediately after hearing those comments Tuesday night. They say it appears Bay either acted alone or with another white male as far back as 1980. We stopped by Bay's home tonight, which is owned by the Church Evangel Temple. A handwritten sign was posted on the door warning members of the media to leave or be arrested. I asked a member of Evangel Temple if Bay would be allowed to continue living in that home. She told me she didn't know, but she did say this.
But we can tell you one thing.
Yes.
That we're praying for everybody because Jesus comes first in all of our lives. So we want, God to work everything out because we serve a God that is of grace.
And a post this week on Roy Bay's Facebook page reads, quote, "Hey, Facebook friends and family, I love each and every one of you and appreciate your prayer and support. If someone contacts you about me, I'm asking you not to talk to them at all about anything. This is my problem and I will handle it. Thanks. I appreciate your love and prayer support in this time of trial and testing." JSO says this investigation is ongoing tonight. Reporting live in Riverside, I'm Ethan Calloway, Channel 4, the local station.
Thank you, Ethan. A local rideshare driver is facing charges tonight after police say he groped a woman he picked up for a ride. According to a police report, they arrested Ishmael Essa for battery. We're told he made some inappropriate remarks and touched a woman's chest as she was getting out of his car. According to police reports, Essa was working as a driver for Lyft, and he picked up the woman from that woman's boyfriend's house. The two talked in the car as he transported her to the location, but later police say Essa told the woman she had, quote, sexy lips, and then got into the back seat where he tried to kiss her and groped her breast. Though incidents like these are unusual, our crime and safety analyst Gil Smith warns to be cautious when using ride-sharing services.
One thing you could do is once a person goes on that app and hires one of the drivers, that driver's name will be on your phone so you'll know who is coming to get you. So you could do an additional search yourself. Just Google that person's name and see if that person has any type of criminal record or complaints against them.
Lyft says Essa is no longer a driver with the service. We did check JSO records. Essa was released from jail after posting $10,000 bond just hours after his arrest 1 week ago. Tonight, we're hearing from the property owner where remains were found earlier this week. Remains police believe were Lonzie Barton. The owner does not live on the property and has a no trespassing sign posted. He and the sheriff's office want people to stay away from the property. The owner says he thought the smell was a dead dog and trash that people have been dumping.
I came out here and checked to make sure there's no trash. There's been several people dumping out here, and that was the main thing I was checking on, was the dumping.
Medical examiner still has not confirmed the remains belong to Lonzie Barton. Forensic consultant Michael Knox told News4Jax that this case is going to need some patience. Knox says detectives would look for broken bones and tiny fractures at the scene. Authorities say the main suspect in Lonzie's disappearance, Ruben Ebron, led investigators to that scene late Sunday evening and into Monday. Ebron waived his right to a speedy trial, and he should be in court this coming Tuesday.
Tonight, more firefighters are coming forward who say they're not being allowed to work because they won't shave. And they say that's because of medical reasons. Yesterday, we showed you why the department suddenly changed its policy and will not allow firefighters to have beards because of OSHA rules. The concern is that beards could interfere with an oxygen mask or regulator. District Chief Terrence Jones is one of those who was notified that he can't fight fires while he has a beard. He says he was informed this week not to show up to work, and if he does, he'll be put on desk duty.
So this is unfair for them to treat us this way because all of us are physically fit, and to make people use sick time and you're not sick, that's fraud. So you're making us be sick. Do I look sick? Nothing about me sick. I'm physically fit and I can do my job and perform my abilities.
Jones has the waiver on file dated last April that says he is permitted to have a short beard. The city says, though, those waivers are no longer good. They cite OSHA and state rules. Union officials say they're reviewing the rules with their attorney. Jones and others have filed a grievance with the city.
Covering Clay County tonight, a family devastated by fire. We first told you about this fire Tuesday night. Luckily, the mother and daughter who lived in the home, they weren't hurt. Tonight, a friend of the family spoke with News4Jax and asked for help. Sarah Saunders says the family lost clothing, furniture, and doesn't even have much food. That's why they've started a GoFundMe account.
Basically, that's just money for like furniture or anything they need for their new apartment they're going to be living in for 8 months while their home's being repaired.
We've got a link to the GoFundMe page on News4Jax.com. If you'd like to help the family out with any expenses, though they say that's not necessary, they also say that they will gladly take a prayer.
We are looking into safety concerns about intersections at railroad tracks after a man was killed in a violent train crash on the west side. This happened around 7 o'clock last night at the intersection of Timaquana Road and Roosevelt Boulevard. FHP says the driver was illegally parked on the tracks and didn't move, even after multiple times the train blew its horn and the crossing arms were down. The Florida Department of Transportation and CSX were back at the crash site today to make sure everything is working properly. A spokesperson says when the light is red, drivers should not be stopped on the tracks or where the crossing arms come down. FDOT, CSX, and JSO, they are collaborating to make sure people are aware of the rules so they can prevent crashes like this from happening.
Well, it seems like we had an increase over the last year or so with people having crashes at the crossings and, you know, with the trains, vehicle versus a vehicle versus a train. And we try to, every one of them, we try to look at it from a DOT perspective.
In the meantime, we are still waiting on the identity of the man killed in this crash.
More accusations at the West Side apartment complex under fire from tenants and lawmakers in the city. Allegations now of lead poisoning in children. They were lodged during a federal housing and urban development meeting with the Eureka Gardens tenants. You remember News4JAX first exposed deplorable living conditions at the federally subsidized property back in September. By October, the city of Jacksonville and HUD were both at the property making changes because of our reports. The all-new allegation of lead poisoning, that was vocalized during a meeting between about 24 tenants and HUD's Federal Enforcement Division. News4JAX cameras were not allowed inside the meeting. We're told a city councilman and 3 representatives from Senator Marco Rubio's office were there.
Which shocked all of us, federal HUD, as well as the city. You know, Marco Rubio's office was here too. The first time we've heard that. We're definitely going to investigate because, you know, they have protocol for lead-based paint, but is the lead now inside of the pipe?
Any allegation is always serious. I'm newly becoming aware of that today. We're going to follow up on that as we speak.
HUD's Enforcement Division also told tenants that they've brought in additional manpower that is, and resources, trying to make sure the embattled property owner brings Eureka Gardens up to federal standards. Reverend Richard Hamlet with the Global Ministries Foundation owns Eureka Gardens.
Another delay in the retrial for Frederick Wade. His second-degree murder conviction and 25 to life sentence in the shooting death of Khalil McCoy were thrown out on appeal. That retrial was scheduled for January 25th, but that's been canceled. Today, Wade's lawyers filed a motion to throw out his confession. There was a hearing on that motion. No ruling was made. Wade should be back in court January 27th.
They're a huge part of a home's landscape. We are talking about trees.
And homeowners in Florida can receive a free tree from the Florida Forest Service. How many trees the agency is giving away?
As there are some chances for showers mixed in there. I'll walk you through them hour by hour, coming right up.
And the gun show is in town this weekend. What the director of marketing is saying about the first event since the president's executive orders.
Remember, you're watching Channel 4, the local station. Live with Joey Purdy, Kent Justice, the Weather Authority forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Gahn, and sports with Sam Kavaris. News4JAX continues.
Gun merchants are expecting record sales this weekend during the North Florida Gun Show.
Yeah, this is the first gun show in our area this year following President Obama's executive order to tighten gun regulations. News4JAX spoke with the marketing director of the gun show, Skip Gwynn, says gun retailers are not worried about making money. In fact, he says because of the president's executive order, he expects the event to be busier than normal.
The people that are pro-gun are worried that they're going to lose their rights.
The event runs this weekend at the fairgrounds. We're going to have a live report tomorrow on the morning show starting at 7.
Next week, Florida senators could decide on a bill that would create a public records exemption for paramedics and other emergency medical technicians. The bill would prevent their home addresses, telephone numbers, and photographs from being released. The bill would also include an exemption for information about their spouses and children. Police officers and firefighters already have this exemption.
Our 5 powerful radar sweeps track and alert when severe weather threatens your neighborhood. Hours before the storm hits. Channel 4 is the Weather Authority.
All right, so we're enjoying Saturday. I'm wondering exactly what time does this rain and bad weather move in Sunday?
When are you getting up?
Oh, pretty early.
Before that.
The answer might be,
Darn.
For most people, the exception might be the beaches and, you know, east of 295, right along, but about 5 miles in for the beaches, you might get some dry periods before you get going on Sunday morning. But we're really looking to wake up to rain Sunday morning, and fingers crossed that we get another fast clear out like we did this afternoon. And so that's just all about timing, and we're watching that cold front as it sweeps across the southeast and starts to interact with all the moisture from the Gulf. Clearly, I'm the only one super jazzed up about warm moisture from the Gulf this evening, but I'll tone down the weather nerd just for a moment and get you through the forecast here. You can always log on to Storm Pins and download it in the App Store by searching for WJXT and check out all these pictures, maybe even add a few of your own, and of course, you might even see them on TV.
Thanks so much. A Positively Jax event just a weekend away. Monday, News4JAX is joining Wells Fargo, United Way, Hands on Jacksonville, and some 600 volunteers, plus you, for an MLK Day of Service. We invite you to join us through this special event. There are all kinds of volunteer projects that you can sign up for, and so we've got information for you on how you can sign up on our website, news4jax.com. Go to the Positively Jax page and look under the Community tab.
In honor of Florida's Arbor Day, the Florida Forest Service will give away 10,000 trees to homeowners free of charge. Florida homeowners can reserve their free tree at arborday.org/FloridaTrees. Within seconds of accessing the website, an online tool helps homeowners find the most strategic location for planting and estimates the annual savings and benefits resulting from the tree. Homeowners can reserve one tree per household. The program will continue until all the trees have been reserved.
2 of the Powerball winners step forward.
Next, the moment they knew they won and how many times they checked and rechecked and rechecked and rechecked their ticket.
Like WJXT4, the local station, on Facebook.
A Tennessee couple who claims to have bought one of the 3 winning Powerball tickets there in Nashville.
John and Lisa Robinson of Munford went to the Tennessee Lottery headquarters to get their ticket verified and claim their massive jackpot. They don't like the media too much. Look at all that fuss. John Robinson says he bought 4
Turn
tickets.
off that cell phone camera.
He bought the tickets at a grocery store near their house on his way home from work Wednesday night. The couple says they rechecked their tickets 4 times. Munford is the city of just 6,000 people. Only 3 businesses even sell Powerball tickets there. Meanwhile, the 2 other winning Powerball ticket holders have not yet come forward.
Walmart says it will close 269 stores nationwide, half those stores in the United States. We said nationwide, we mean worldwide, because the others will be in Brazil. Some local stores are on the closing list. Here's a list of those stores, starting with the one on State Road 20 in Interlochen. Also closing, the location on U.S. Highway 1 in Alma, Georgia. Both of those stores are slated to close on the 28th. About 10,000 U.S. employees will be affected by these closings. Walmart says it hopes to place those employees in other stores.
A helping hand to make a love story happen.
Now, after sports, the Good Samaritan is throwing a lavish wedding for a homeless couple.
And before America met Derrick Henry at Alabama, he was a living legend back here along the First Coast. Even with all the new awards and accolades, he's remained just a humble kid from Mealey. I'll have that story when we return with sports.
Brian Jackson with us. We talk sports tonight. Heisman Trophy, right from Northeast Florida. We kind of love that.
Yeah, and Derrick Henry, like we were just talking about before, already said that he's going to be in the draft.
Yeah.
You know,
going to the NFL.
Got a second-round grade. He thinks that he's going to be a first-rounder. We'll have to wait and see. But at one point, when Derrick Henry was still at Mealey, there was talk that he might not even play running back in college. Even got to see his son sign his letter of intent, so that was all, very, very special day for the guys over at Middleburg.
Yeah, of course, son saying, I hope Dad will be here.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, coming up here. Homeless couple outside Tampa. They're about to get a dream wedding.
Rocky and Evelyn have wanted to get married for a while, but they can't come up with the $93 for the marriage filing fee. So the owner of a wedding venue named Creek Ranch heard of their situation and offered them a wedding valued at $20,000.
Couple went over the flowers, the food, and the cake on their big day. No word on when the actual wedding will take place.
Look at that. It's beautiful. The owner of Cross Creek is doing this because she says she was once homeless, living in a truck. A Tampa police officer will then help the couple get on their feet.
They needed $93, and they're getting $20,000 worth of wedding.
Nice. Awesome.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Don't forget the morning show starts at 7:30 a.m. For news anytime, head to our website.
At News 4 Jax, we're always covering the news, even when we're not on TV. Stay informed, on the go, and online at news4jax.com.